nobody knows where they are.
It started to lead towards foul play.
Those were big red flags.
So I definitely want justice.
Many cases worldwide have significant and exciting twists which help solve these cases. But there is one case that has been solved in a very mysterious way, namely in a podcast. Yes, a podcast helped to find the brutal murder of this case. Let's find out how it all happened. Kirsten Smart was born in 1977 in West Germany. She was a child from two teachers. After Kirsten's birth, the parents lived in Germany for a while and then moved to California, USA. Kirsten spent her childhood in California and continued her education. She got admission in university. Next to her study, she works as a lifeguard at the beach where she could earn some pocket money. On May 25, 1996, she was supposed to go to a birthday party. She asked her friends to go with her to the party, but the friends refused and dropped her at the party venue and go back.
Kristen was like, come on, let's go. And I was like, nah, I have to study. And so she pulled me into this sort of like, oh, come on, let's socialize.
She had a good time at the party and probably drank too much alcohol to make her feel worse. After the party was over, at 2 a.m., two of Kristen's classmates, David and Anderson, were seen grabbing Kristen and dropping her off at her residence. She was having trouble walking, probably unwell, and the two of them helping her walk. Meanwhile there, another guy named Paul Floor arrived, and he said that he lived near Kristen's residence and will drop Kristen off there. Hearing this, Davis and Anderson went their separate ways, and Floor took Kristen with her. This was the last time anyone saw Kristen because where she went after that, no one knows.
I was expecting her to knock on my door and be like, oh, Margarita, you missed a rager, and here's your key.
When her friends did not see her for some time, they started looking for her. Friends searched for her in every possible place, but could not find anything. When Kristen went missing for a couple of days, her friends informed the university police department. The university police assumed that Kristen had gone on vacation and may have forgotten to tell someone when she left. But the police got shocked when Kristen's family told the police that Kristen was missing. She was neither at the university or at home.
She was becoming more and more alarmed. She was frantic. I don't understand this. What's going on? It is every parent's worst nightmare.
Several police teams started searching for Kristen. All the areas surrounding the university were investigated, but nothing was found. Meanwhile, rumors spread in the university and the media that a man named Scott might be connected to the case, because when Kristen disappeared, he was also seen there. The police arrested Scott, but after an investigation, he had to be released due to a lack of evidence. During the investigation, the police learned that Floor was with Kristen when she last arrived home. Later, Kristen's friends said that Kristen was drunk and could not walk. So 2 or 3 boys went along to drop her home, and Floor was one of them. The police called Floor for questioning. Floor told police that she had left Kristen near her residence and she walked to her room by herself. He had not seen Kristen since. He doesn't know where Kristen went. The police had suspicions about Floor, but there was no evidence to confirm the police's suspicions.
The day after my sister disappeared, Paul Flores had a black eye and scratches on him.
As the years went by, the police kept trying, but nothing could be found of Kristen. Kristen's family had hoped that one day Kristen would return, but now their hope was beginning to fade. It was May 25, 2002. 6 years had passed since Kristen had been lost. The police declared Kristen legally dead the same day. The police said that if Kristen had been lost, there would have been a trace of her after so much effort, but Kristen is probably dead. Now the question arose here: if someone had killed Kristen, where was her body or remains? Until 2007, the police conducted several search operations to find Kristen's remains. A search was made in the vicinity of the university and in every possible place, but nothing could be found. Many more years passed like this. In September 2016, 2 decades had passed since Kristen was lost. People had forgotten about it, but the investigation team announced to start the investigation again. But this time, the police had a breakthrough early in the investigation. only 3 days into the investigation when the police found some of Kristen's belongings. All these items were buried near Kristen's residence, and the police found them with the help of cadaver dogs. Police hoped to use the same dogs to examine the items and hunt for Kristen's remains within another week. But many years passed in this wait. Till 2020, no progress could be made in this case. In April 2021, an officer of the investigative team claimed that he had confirmed with the help of dogs that Kristen's body was buried at the home of a man named Reuben Floor and later moved elsewhere. Reuben Floor was the father of the same Paul Floor who was last seen with Kristen. The police were now increasingly suspicious of Paul Floor, but the police were looking for any concrete evidence. The police decided to seek help from the public to solve the case. They announced that a reward of $75,000 will be offered to anyone who can provide information helpful in solving the case, and a $100,000 reward will be offered to anyone who finds Kristen's body. The media was already taking interest in this case, but the case took an interesting turn when music writer and podcaster Chris Lambert decided to jump into the case. Chris used to do a podcast called Your Own Backyard at the time, and people listened to it very enthusiastically. Chris decided to discuss the case on his podcast. Chris launched a 10-episode-long podcast series discussing every aspect of the case, taking input from Kristen's fellow students, and reviving the case in public. Chris's podcast has been downloaded over 12 million times. This also rekindled the enthusiasm of the police, and they started the investigation with a new zeal. According to all the information that the police had so far, the police believed that Paul Floor and his father Reuben Floor had something to do with the case. The police eventually obtained a search warrant for the home of Paul Floor and began searching the home with a team of detectives and experts. During the search, the police also found 8 rape drugs in Paul's house, of which the police became suspicious. Upon further investigation, the police found a videotape that clearly showed Floor raping a woman. The police then obtained a search warrant for Reuben Floor's home, and during the search, the police found an illegal gun in his possession. On April 14, 2021, police arrested Paul Floor and Reuben Floor. Paul Floor was charged with Kristen's rape and murder, and Reuben Floor was charged with accessory murder. Further investigation and questioning revealed that Paul attempted to rape Kristen and killed her in the process. When all the evidence in the case was presented to the judges declared the evidence sufficient and began the trial. The trial was decided in October 2022. Paul was sentenced to 25 years in prison for rape and murder, while Reuben was sentenced to 3 years for aiding the crime. Police said that Paul killed Kristen during the rape and buried her body with the help of his father. When they realized that the police would raid their house, they shifted the remains to another place. Despite all the evidence against them, both the father nor the son were not confessing to the crime, and to date, they have not accepted their crime. Therefore, even after more than 25 years, Kristen's remains cannot be found today. But the public and the police hope that soon both will confess and reveal the whereabouts of Kristen's remains. But all this will not bring Kristen back, nor will her family's grief be reduced. So ends another tale of crime. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more crime-related videos. Like this video and tell us in the comments what you think about this video. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.